not a paid political advertisement. Just vote.
Don't miss continuous coverage of Election 2018 Tuesday night with Mark Westwood and Andrew Caravella. The biggest races, both local and national, will be covered through this one-night event. Election 2018 with Mark Westwood and Andrew Caravella kicks off at 6 p.m. Listen locally anywhere in the Inland Empire. KCAA 102.3 FM, 106.5 FM, or The Legacy at 1050 a.m. You can also stream the coverage live on the TuneIn app through your smartphone. Keyword KCAA. Election 2018 Tuesday night with Mark Westwood and Andrew Caravella at 6 p.m. only on KCAA Radio, the station that leaves no voter behind.
Hi, I'm Mayor Aquanetta Warren from the great city of Fontana. We have achieved so much in my last 2 terms, but we still have so much to do. I need your help to move Fontana forward. We are bringing more retail, entertainment, as well as dining opportunities, which will bring more jobs. Remember, the best is yet to come. Let's keep moving Fontana forward.
Paid for by citizens and friends of Aquanetta Warren for Mayor 2018.
Listen to the Del Walmsley Radio Show Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. on KCAA, now on 1050 a.m., 102.3 FM, and 106.5 FM.
KCAA.
Looks so pretty, you'll see Amarillo and Gallup, New Mexico, Flagstaff, Arizona. Don't forget Nona, Big Sun, Moscow, St.
Bernardino.
Hello, stand up.
Yeah, this is Robert Porter with Edwin Johnson, Al Kelly, and Scott Olson, and we got Carmel Road coming on our way right this second on the Love San Bernardino County radio show on KCAA, NBC, 106.5 FM, 102.3 FM, 1050 AM, where we will talk politics, culture, and history. All right, you know how I like to start off our show with some history because if I wait till the end, a lot of times we don't get to it. And so we got to get to the history because we have such great history here locally in San Bernardino County, and it's important to everyone. And anytime you want to do a history show on Fontana, come on in. You know,
hey, Hells Angels, they let the cat out the bag. Yeah, they live in Fontana.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of good Hells Angels and Po-Bob history.
Yeah, I'm in Fontana.
In the Inland Empire. It's been here a long time.
You got
Phil Oaks. That's cool.
Hey, I just live there. Like San Bernardino's my city. I just live in Fontana. Like I'm active out here.
I know, but it's I know you do a lot of things with youth and learning the history of your area is actually, it's one of the most important things you can do, because if you don't study your history, you're doomed to repeat it. And it's so true. History is cyclical and it goes in cycles. So, all right, 1879, the world's first citrus fair. The unparalleled growth of the citrus industry sees Riverside create the world's citrus fair in 1879. And it is an unqualified success, but tens of thousands of citrus trees demand for water and the taxes that the natural moisture available in the semi-arid soil of the valley. Water and the rights to water will remain vital to the region's development for many years to come. And I wanted to show you that not just San Bernardino County, but our right next door. Initially, everyone thought we were probably talking about the Nas Citrus Fair. But we weren't. Right, there's old history all around this whole area. And now I consider the Inland Empire belonging parts of Riverside County. And they grew up in this area in the Old West and did all the same things we did, including the citrus industry and stuff. Now, why I'm speaking on this is because I went over there and visited our sister city, Riverside, over there. Nice. And went to the Mission Inn this last weekend. And wow! They have some really old buildings over there downtown. Right. It is so cool.
It's real nice down there.
Yeah, and I it made me yearn for the days when I see these old photographs with our old buildings in them now we have a few left. There's the Opera House and a few, but like we used to have some really cool old buildings and they were taken down. So we got to protect what's left. Right. And if you want to protect that old stuff in Fontana or in Colton or in Yucaipa or wherever your historical landmarks are in your city, you might have to step up and protect those because there may be someone who has better plans for that land in their eyes. And if they start first and you're not protecting it, you may lose it. So we're not always the first, so it's good to study that there is other really cool history around our area. And it's old history. Because we were some of the first settlements right here on the western coast of the United States. So San Bernardino, Riverside, Los Angeles, San Francisco, we're all very old. So we got great history to share. So let's not destroy it. Let's save it. All right, now you heard enough of my lecture on history and everything.
History is important, though. Everybody got to know their history. That's how we grow.
Super cool family cultural nights. And these are for the title 6 American Indian Education Program run by Sandra Weber. And the next one will be on Tuesday, November 13th. And it'll be from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. over the Professional Development Center, 4030 Georgia Boulevard. It's right over here by the University in Hallmark, by the college over there. And we just sit there and we learn Native American languages. Last week we did soapstone carving. So I got to bring home some soapstone, and over the weekend, I turned off my phone, I put away my computer, and I sat there, and I did use metal utensils. I tried using bone and stone to carve it at first, but that's hard. I mean, like you can do it, but it would have been like a 3 or 4 week project versus a 1 day one. So I sat there with my iron files and I carved the soapstone, which is a really soft stone, and it's actually what they use to make talcum powder. They can make some really nice fine baby powder, and it was fun. I carved a bear and I carved an arrowhead.
Did you say they got that from Catalina?
Yes, these were Catalina deposits, and it was a very well-known site for making bowls. And these bowls were like I think it's called thermodynamic. So you could actually heat them up and cool them down, heat them up, cool them down, like you would when you're cooking soup or water or heating water, and they wouldn't break. Whereas a pottery would fracture much quicker. So a lot of the sites didn't have a lot of pottery in them, and they had this soapstone instead. And I got to carve a little bear effigy out of it and an arrowhead effigy, made a pendant out of it. It's all cool. All right. Well, today we have
brought a picture of it, man.
I'll throw it on Instagram.
Yeah,
we have Edwin Johnson in the house. I met you first on I Love San Bernardino, right? Yeah. Way back in the day. Ipiani Locker brought you in here. I was hoping Ipiani would come in today, but he's always got an open invitation anytime he wants. But you do Chords Youth Enrichment Program. Now, tell us a little bit about Chords.
Okay, so I started Chords about 6-7 years ago, right out here in the city of San Bernardino. And so how Chords started off was just I was a part of an after-school program over there on G Street, 1354 North G Street. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that. Dave Kalke, Tom Dolan was actually overseers of that after-school program. So I kind of took what they did.
They were like your mentors?
Yeah, still my mentors.
Okay, still to this day.
Tom is over ICUC now.
Okay.
And PK's out in Mexico doing his thing, still doing community work and stuff like that. But I started it because I know what saved my life. You know what I'm saying? It's because I was out there running the streets. I was acting up. I was doing crazy stuff. And so what saved my life was this after school program that other people saw to be reckless. Because you had a bunch of kids running around. Teenage kids had a bunch of teenage kids running around, and like they would do things like art. We would do things like music. I started the music program there. They would do graffiti that the city was mad at because it was a bunch of art pieces everywhere. I don't know if you guys remember, but it was a big conflict because they had put it was like 3 people that was nailed to the cross on the front of the building. It was like a prostitute. It was a drug addict, and it was a ex-con.
Wow. I think I kind of recall that. Yes,
right there, right down the street from Riley Elementary.
Yes, that's my old school.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So I started at that program, and so like that program taught me a bunch of different life skills, bunch of different skills that I needed to go to the next level. And so when I started Chords, that was the foundation for me. Like, because I could have been dead or in jail, you know what I mean? But because I had this program to be a part of, it made me think differently than all my friends. It had gave me that structure, it had gave me that foundation I needed to go to the next level. So I did I had left San Bernardino, and I started working for the prisons for like 8 years. And then
and you know a lot about the prisons because
I mean, I wanted, because like my father is a lifer in prison right now. My brother just got out from doing 12 years in prison. So because my father is a lifer in prison, like I wanted to see what it was like while he was in there, So I had got a job there, man, and it's pretty much set up for people to fail. I mean, they get out with no resources. They get out and they go right back to the same place that they left that caused them to get locked up.
So this after school program, you have other examples that you could follow,
right?
But you followed this after school program, and you developed your own non-for-profit, right?
15 years later. So I developed my own 15 years later, and like I took the concept, but I took what I love, which was music. And so it had started off in my apartment, just me teaching kids in the neighborhood. I was living in Grand Terrace, and like I would teach kids. Kids would come in, and like I would teach them how to do music. So like I didn't even know it was going to become a nonprofit because I was just doing what I love, what we were just talking about. I was having fun.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And so from me having fun to me connecting with different people, we ended up starting a program that has provided service to over 10,000 youth in the city, in the county of San Bernardino.
Not just music, photography,
music, mentoring,
all kinds of stuff.
Video production. And so like the core of the program is mentoring. So like even though music is the carrot for them, we focus on youth development. We focus on empowerment. We focus on building a relationship to give them hope. Because like that same hope that I had coming up, that's what we do now, my staff and I, right? And so in the program, you have kids that are teaching kids. Kids that are learning stuff in our program that they go to the Art Institute for and pay $100,000, right? For a 4-year course that we teach in our program. Video production, audio production, using Pro Tools, top of the line music equipment. If you guys was to pull up their video right now, you wouldn't believe that it was done in San Bernardino.
You've done quite a few good videos off of this.
This is after school, 5 days a week?
Yeah, we're contracted through San Bernardino City Unified School District, nice. and we're a CAPS program.
Okay.
And so we also do work at the juvenile halls and then several group homes and different programs in the county.
They can follow you right now on Instagram on Chords.
Yeah, ChordsEYP.org.
Chords as in CHORD?
Chords, yeah. Chords stands for Chords, CHORDS. So it's creating hopeful opportunities and resiliency by developing skills.
Beautiful.
Those are the acronyms for it.
Beautiful.
And so with Chords programs, I think do we still have a student on hold? Okay.
Student checked out.
Okay, one of my students tapped in. So with the program, it's crazy because these kids are learning from the bottom. So they're learning how to produce a beat. They're learning how to write a beat. They're learning how to write a song. They're learning how to write music, arrange music, to perform in music.
Wow.
And so people actually contract with us for me to bring my kids out to perform. And we do dance, we do everything, and we push them to a professional level, and we hold them to a standard to where they have to be on the right track in school. I'll say on the right track, because some of the kids, like they have bad grades when they come to us, but we're not saying, well, no, you can't be a part of this, because you have bad grades. So what we make them do is, like, if you want to be a part of this dance program, you want to be a part of this music program, then you have to be in tutoring 1 day a week, right?
Where's the tutoring provided?
It's through YAP. So CAPS.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so we're at all the sites that YAP is at, and so we provide the enrichment part of the program through CAPS, and so like we send our kids to YAP to get the tutoring.
I'm curious, how many students are we talking about dealing with?
Probably about 20 a day.
Now, what like is there it's a 4-year program, right? So they can graduate from it, or how does that work?
Okay, like right now, like a lot of our kids that actually graduated come back and do work for us.
Okay.
And so my whole goal for the program is for youth that were formerly in the program to become leaders, to become teachers in the program.
Our future.
Right. So it becomes a circle.
You've got a student on the line by the name of Evan.
Evan, okay.
Ice Tony.
Oh, Ice Tony, what's up, Ice?
What's up? Okay, well, I'm gonna talk. Everybody's here.
Yeah, we're all here, Tony.
We tapping in.
Okay. About Evan, he's very nice, and he taught me a lot at the hip hop shop at Chords, and we all record. I'm from San Bernardino High School. I'm a senior.
Wait a second. Pacific High School rules.
San Bernardino.
Pacific High School.
Keep going.
Cardinal Pride.
Pirates.
Yeah, he taught me a lot, and he's like a good good producer, and he taught me a lot, and I'm an engineer now, and he taught me a lot. Okay, you click here, click there, from there, like he's done really good,
Nice.
Do you feel like you're learning skills for the future?
Yeah.
And what do you want to? What direction would you like to go? Are you going to start another non-for-profit like he did, or are you gonna be a famous rapper? What are you interested in?
I like to be like a famous rapper,
Well, I like the way you think.
Throw a line down.
Hey, tell them how many views your video got that we just shot.
I got 5,000 views on YouTube.
Wow. Well, spit us a couple lines right now.
Go ahead, Ice.
Yeah.
You ain't gonna rap?
Yeah, I can rap, yeah.
Well, spit us a couple lines out.
Oh, my name is Ice Tony. I might hear with the radio station. My name is, everybody know, I'm going to go through San Bernardino,
There we go, Ice. There we go.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we didn't have the beats, and we just brought it out a cappella. But
Right.
Let me tell y'all. So while I got Ice Tony on the phone, I mean, just to talk about him a little bit. Ice Tony, when he first started with me in the 9th grade, he would get teased a lot. He would get picked on a lot.
Yeah.
For what?
They call me like ugly, and they call me, oh, you're special ed and this and that,
Out of here, man. But did you tell them that you're going to be on the radio? And look at this, man. You're doing a great job.
Tell them what happened 4 years later, though, Ice. What happened at San Bernardino High School just recently?
Everybody, I was famous. Everybody knows me now.
Yeah.
And then what else, though? What'd you accomplish that was big?
Like when I go to the center, like, everybody said, oh, is that Ice Tony? Oh, hey, Ice Tony,
Ice Tony the King, though. Hey, remember Homecoming King?
Yeah.
Homecoming King.
Wow.
Homecoming King.
Yeah, that's how you do it.
Yeah.
All right, you tease me, but I'm Homecoming King.
Come on. From getting talked about, from getting bullied to getting picked on to becoming a homecoming king.
So do you have a Homecoming King rap?
I'm working on right now, but I'm working this song, you know.
All right.
So it sounds like you had a lot of support in building confidence with these
Yeah.
programs.
All right. What's your favorite thing about Edwin? What's your favorite thing?
Yeah, he teaches me how to rap and stuff like that.
He is a good
I've
rapper.
become famous because of him, you know.
He's an urban poet, that's for sure.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it was great having you on, Tony, and thank you so much for stepping up and you know what, you should probably have your own program if it's helped you this much. We should have, Edwin should have like 50 sub programs built up.
Mm-hmm. That'd be dope.
Fanning out all across the country because there's so much that music can do for learning.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, and then that's what we try to teach at Chords program. We use music as a tool to empower kids like Ice Tony, who was bullied, picked on, who was treated bad. For him to be able to come up and like stand amongst other youth confidently and say, "This is who I am." You know what I mean? And so music does that. That's why we love music.
That's called saving lives, man. Mm-hmm. Well, thank you, Tony, for calling in. I appreciate that, dude.
You're welcome.
All right, Ice, I'm gonna holler at you.
Homecoming king.
And you didn't show up today. Why you didn't show up? All right, but I'll talk to you later. Where was you at today? Matter of fact, while I got you on the phone.
The pressure's on.
Where was you at today? Matter of fact. All right, Ice. I'll let you know.
All right, bye.
Yeah, and you can tell that he has a lot of respect for you, dude.
Yeah. Right.
So it's more than just building skills, man. You're building really good relationships.
Right. And like that's the key, man. Like,
come on in, Karma.
Hey, Karma. Hey. That's the key.
The boss, fashionably late.
How you doing?
Where you been?
I was at the Pierce Center.
You're at the Pierce Center. Oh, she's always has to do the stuff with the kids. That's for sure. Because you got to be there, right?
You got to be there.
Good role models, good leaders, and they'll be good role models and good leaders in the future.
Right, and then like people got to understand that much respect to the teachers and stuff like that in the community that do the work, but sometimes it goes beyond our regular 9-to-5 jobs. You know what I'm saying? Like. Because I'm dealing with kids 24 hours a day, because I keep a line open. They can call me, they can message me any time of the day because a lot of these kids don't even have homes to go to. Like a lot of these kids don't even have parents that are consistent and they need backpacks and they need different things and stuff like that. And so like people say, well, they talk about boundaries and stuff like that. But if we really want to connect to a kid, we got to have that open line all the time. Especially if they respect you and they got a relationship with you, we got to be able to connect with those kids continuously. And that's why I'm so successful in what I do is because we connect with these kids continuously all the time. Like if they're having problems at the house, sometimes we're mediators and stuff like that between the parents and the kids.
Wow.
And I learned that from doing social work, being able to have that connection because we kind of do like a rap, kind of like the rap model. And so that's why like I got kids like Ice Tony who's been rocking with me for 4 years, and other kids in the program who respect me on that level because sometimes I'm dealing with situations where kids was touched by the people who they live with, and they tell me, and then they tell my staff, and then like there was times where we had to sit at the sheriff's department for 5 hours to get a kid. To be able to make a report. There was times where, kids just got kicked out the house. And, like, do we let them just walk around at night in these dangerous streets?
No.
We always got to be able to intervene and stay connected to them and stay tight to them. And that's the core and that's the foundation of my program is building relationships, is mentoring and constantly pouring into them to take them to the next level.
Why can't we just give you the Carousel Mall?
Give you to you.
Yeah, and have you run a huge a center there for the kids, man. I mean,
boy, that's a great idea.
Why can't
That's
we
a great
only
idea.
spend the money properly in the city of San Bernardino?
Right.
We do got a center though. It's gonna open in December.
Okay.
So we're right next to Operation New Hope. That's one of our partners. We're on the right. Huh?
On Highland Avenue.
No, it's on 7th and Arrowhead, right by the police station. So we're building a community center there. It's going to be the best community center because we're focusing on arts, and kids are actually going to be able to take things away from the program that they can use for their future.
Who finances that?
Well, we're financing it. I'm partnered with Operation New Hope, Young Women's Empowerment. That's Gwen Rogers. We're also partner with a guy that owns Starting Five Barbershop. So right now we're getting the funds together to make it happen.
Yeah, I've been
Can
over
any
there a
kid
couple
go?
times. They're good
Yes,
people there.
Any kid go.
Any kid can go.
And like we really want to focus on kids who have a passion and talent for music, dance, poetry. So probably all kids.
Yeah, like you said, if you don't expose them to it.
Right.
But like Carlos Santana talks about that, that's the best thing you can introduce kids
Right.
to, music, and that'll lead to
Right.
some
Come-
empowerment. Good.
Now, there's an emphasis on higher education, or going
Yes.
to Cal State or to Valley, or
Yeah, so right now we try to push our kids to Valley.
Good, Jason.
And so we got a good relationship with Joseph over there at the community college.
So I know Manel with the Green Shack and musicology over there at KVCR. I know she's trying to work out a few programs working with Cal State San Bernardino. And I think the kids or the students that actually work it actually get college credit in the long run.
Is it a music program?
Yeah, it seems like there could be something in that for you too.
I think I heard about it.
But there's got to be several directions, because not all kids fit in one program the same way. There's always there's when you're making videos you're learning something different than rapping, anyways.
Right.
So there's room for all this different types of art and entertainment. I think that's the future for all our kids. I tell my niece all the time, do a job a robot can't do, and make sure it's fun.
Yeah, and like that's the goal for the Chords Art and Education Center is to eventually become a charter school for the arts.
Okay.
In San
That would be
Bernardino.
nice.
Within the school district itself?
Yes.
Good.
In San Bernardino.
I just want to know, does anybody teach handwriting? This is a problem to me as a mother. Like, I don't have the best handwriting, so for me to teach my kids handwriting,
They
it's
try
like,
to teach me, and I still write like a chicken
I
scratch.
don't
man.
know why they don't teach handwriting.
You had to go to Catholic school 12 years of getting beaten, and I could still got penmanship.
Ooh, I could do my signature real good, but that's it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's a problem.
It is an art form too. It really is. But that's left up to you. If you want to learn to do some of these art forms, it's good to get inspired first, and then take them home and do them. Like I did with the soapstone. I went to an after-school program. I learned a technique, and I took it home and I redid it, and I think I did it a little better. Right? So
Let me find out you the master soap carver.
It's just. I thought a lot of times I look at myself like I'm not really an artist, but then like when you see something you created, you're like, wow. Right?
Maybe I am.
I got a little bit more confidence there right now. I won't be painting no fine art, but I could grind this or shape this thing into this arrowhead shape. All right. But I'm sure you feel the same way with kids. Like sometimes you feel like you're shaping this kid into something special. Give me your. I don't want to put you on the spot, but what's your most the success story you tell the most?
The success story that I tell the most, as far as my program, or like
yes.
I would say my student that was just on the phone. You got a kid who was in special education. All through high school, who would get picked on, who would get bullied, called ugly, called these different names, called slow, right? To becoming a part of our program, to 4 years later becoming homecoming king and the most popular kid at his school.
Wow.
To where his mom walks him around and they be like, oh, that's Ice Tony. Look, I got a text message right now from somebody asking me how much is a feature for Ice Tony.
You just
to get on this song.
You did a positivity rap right there. Where's this rap? You needed to do some beats for this one. The whole storyline of starting out getting teased, but then ending up homecoming king. Maybe you can get
and
Snoop.
Then everybody went crazy.
Get Snoop Dogg in there.
That's right.
It was dope.
And any chance to work with anybody that's a little famous or anything yet? Or
Well, right now, we're gonna have a Swaggy P, Nick Young come out to our event in January. He's gonna be hosting our talent show that we're doing. We also got Disaster. He was just in Eminem's new movie called Bodied. So I mean, just connecting with people who love what I do and who I reached out to and who was generously, reaching out to me back. Because I'm not afraid to ask. I'm like, hey, what y'all got? That's just me. Like, hey, can you help us? We in San Bernardino, 63 homicides.
If you don't ask, you don't get.
Right. And I'm like, what can you help us with? You know what I'm saying? And so for me, and then just like having different connects, and like we also brought out Darren Henson 1 year. He's from Stomp the Yard. He also came out to do our Stop the Violence event in like 2015. So it's been a blessing, and like my networking stuff has been phenomenal. The school district has been very supportive. I can't say the same thing for the city, but the school district has been very supportive, and the movement and just being a part of it every step of the way, showing up, being there, providing funds, for us to do the things that we want to do.
Great.
Wow, man.
SB City School District. Shout out to the school district. Gwen, Dr. Hill,
Yeah,
Abigail.
And the fruits will be. We'll have some of the top-notch performers.
Right.
We'll have some of the top-notch video
Children.
editors.
Right.
There is those video editors make $500 an hour, man.
Right.
It's no
That's
joke.
that's
These jobs.
the job I want my kid to do.
Right.
So-
And then just think about it, like, what other district is funding a music program where kids can do hip hop, rap, engineering?
They
beat,
take music
production?
programs away nowadays,
right.
man.
So shouts out to San Bernardino City
Yeah.
Unified, man. For real.
Woo.
Big
Like,
props to them.
It's a lost art training for a symphony,
Right.
but at the LA Philharmonic, they're making like, $400 grand a year. They're making big time money. So if you can make it, if you can go all the way and you put all your heart and effort, you'll be successful. Look at chords.
We've been talking to the symphony too about doing a big collaboration.
Oh, that'd be
with
great.
them, hip hop and opera and
Nice.
we got something big planned next year. So we're talking about that. Like we're sitting in meetings and figuring out how can we make it work, and it's gonna happen.
Any collaboration with the Fight Club over at the Elks, Project Fighting Chance?
Oh yeah, shouts out to my guy. We haven't did any collaboration recently, but I love the work that Ian's doing over there. We actually did some stuff with him maybe like 3 years ago. We had set up a mobile site when he was downtown. Well, not downtown by Pacific, and so he's doing some amazing work over there. That's a good friend of mine. He's another mover and shaker in the community.
Asafo over there too. He's doing the side program with all the they're playing chess.
Right.
They're learning how to do the guitar, and so they're kind of building another program. But I just see room for collaboration. Maybe like rap a few lines and then box
We talked
around.
about it.
Rap a few
We had
lines,
talked about doing a boxing rap event, but the city need to give us some money. No.
Yeah. No, you're not the first not-for-profit that's
Need to give
I've
us
heard
some
that from.
There's a lot of money there.
The Historical Society of
Yeah.
San
There's
Bernardino.
a lot.
Yeah.
They can't get nothing. They hold all our history, but the city pretends like they don't exist. So you're not the only one. It's just they have their own priorities, I guess, and
Right.
not
We
always
get
with ours.
$3.5 to $7.5 million a year
And
that
how
can
many-
be used for
Carmel,
these
is that
things.
Carmel, is that for block grants
Yes.
though? Oh, okay.
But they were giving out like $500,000 a year, and then they took it away, and then there's all this. There's just so much money that flows through that. All you got to do is word it properly,
Right.
And if you go through the list, it's like you can do this. You serve a community, you do this. So like, there's a whole bunch of money
Right.
that if people ask for properly, they can get. But on the city side, there wasn't really any checks and balances.
Right.
So, but then there's people in the community who do want to do good, who really deserve that money, but the people who really weren't getting checks and balance were getting that money.
Right.
So I want to move on to the next segment here, and Mr. Johnson, you're totally free from here. You don't have to. This does not represent anything for you. We're going to talk a little bit of politics here, but this has nothing to do with Cords or Mr. Johnson. He's just going to sit down in here and
just
listen.
sit and just listen.
But Carmel, so tell me what happened. I see you on a live video going nuts in the front of your house. I see a code enforcement officer running around. What happened?
Okay, so I guess I got a ticket from the code enforcement officer for I got my bus in my front yard and my trash cans behind my fence. And she says that my bus doesn't run even though my bus runs. And she said that I needed to mow my yard and that I needed to cut my trees. Well, I'm going to tell you, my yard was mowed and my trees were looking nice. Like when I was pulling up to my house, I'm like, I wouldn't give me a ticket. There's sometimes I pull, look, I'm going to be real. I'm a single mother. And I'm going to tell you, there's sometimes I would pull up to my yard and I would be like, someone should give my yard a ticket. Okay? But that wasn't yesterday or the day before or the week before. You know what I mean? My grass has been mowed for quite some time. And I was pulling up because the kids have been watering it. And I'm like, oh, the yard was looking nice. But then there's a code enforcement lady, and she's out, and she doesn't want to talk to me because she says I should know why she's there, even though I never got a ticket. And then I was trying to talk to her, and she just was, like, completely ignoring me. She didn't say anything to me. She wouldn't speak to me, so I put her on Facebook. And then the next day she comes back, and my dogs are barking, but I was busy. I just really didn't have time to deal with no barking dogs. So then they just kept barking. Finally, I said, man, I'm just going to go out inside and see. So I opened the door, and the code chick is sitting out front, and she wrote me a ticket with 2 blue pieces of tape. But listen, she didn't post it to my door. It was on the floor. Like, if I wouldn't have got out there, the wind could have blown it away. Like she said, she gave me a freaking notice, and she never gave me a freaking notice. Okay, but on each one of these things, she gave me a $100 fine. She fined me $400. Wow. She fined me $400 when she could have told me, okay, the city ordinance changed. You have to have your trash cans behind the fence where nobody can see them. Okay, I might have just told one of my kids, hey, take the trash cans behind the thing while she's here.
So do you think this is retaliation for you running for mayor? Or
I think that it's retaliation for all the things that I say and all the things that I do in the city. And I think that, you know, it's okay. Whatever it is because I put her on video. I've been building a case. I've been building a case against the city. Like, people have got to hear me. You know, I don't just sit up here and make up stuff. I don't really care to be making up stuff. But the truth is the truth. And if there's money and if there's people not doing stuff and if we could do this and if we got prostitutes and if we don't tax it and if we really screwed up marijuana on purpose because we want to hold down the pew. I mean, it's a whole slew of things, you know, and it might be my opinion, but my opinion is based on research and reading and paperwork and downloads and things from the city's website and being involved, you know. So
well, they did sabotage the cannabis. I got called out for not supporting X and W, and I kind of put that, for me, it's like dealing with the mayor in Valdivia. Who do I vote for? Well, they're both in there, and both those people created this thing that they want me to vote for. Right? So then, like, I'm in this weird conundrum where I'm like, well, who do I vote for? What do I do? Is it best to just vote for cannabis, like, willy-nilly? Or
no.
Is it best to wait?
Hey.
Or is it best to vote for Valdivia? Or is it best to vote for the mayor? The mayor has a lot of accounting skills. Valdivia is more of a business go-getter kind of guy. Like, what do I want? What do I want? Well, I don't want to tell you guys what I want.
Everybody fired.
Hey, Carmel, couldn't the people of San Bernardino tomorrow just put you in as a write-in candidate?
They could.
All right, Carmel Rowe.
Okay. Yes, you can do a write-in candidate, but you got to realize this is not the primaries. This is the general election. So if you write down somebody else's name that is not on the ballot, your vote's not going to count. They're not going to pay attention to it. You will lose the opportunity to choose. And when it comes down to an election at this, you can only vote for the person who's on the ballot. Okay?
Well, so
those are the two choices.
So if you were in bankruptcy and you needed an accountant and that was your main reason and you needed an accountant for the bankruptcy and we're out of bankruptcy and we're building out, I think we're done with accountant and we need to move
Robert,
on to the next one.
5 years in bankruptcy, when the average city like Detroit gets out in a year, give or take a couple months, that's not success.
And
that's milking it.
And let me explain why.
At best.
Why I had an issue with why. I mean, I'm with W. So there in Fontana, Aquanetta Warren and their council have some pretty stringent cannabis personal cultivation rules that were just brought under scrutiny by Judge Cohn, right? So he hasn't ruled on it yet, but he's about to. And he's about to probably say, hey, you guys are using these personal cultivation rules to prevent people from legally accessing cannabis.
Yep, he will, because he's that cool of a dude.
But some people who are supporting the measures within our city, I personally don't think they care about cultivation on a personal level. So whereas I care about the whole cannabis community and everything they're doing there, it seems like the group that they just want licenses, which I think is totally important. But once I found out that Judge Cohn's going to rule this way, it makes me think that we're going to put in an ordinance that's automatically going to be under scrutiny again and be right back in the same position we were before. And when I went up to a council person to ask them, well, why can't you guys just vote this in and screw the whole initiative?
They can't.
Just no, they could do their own ordinance. They could.
It can't subvert what the initiative process.
This is it. I'm going to tell you. They're tricking the people. This is why I can't support this. They're tricking the people. And then they're putting a general tax. If you look at the taxes, they're pretty high. Like, try to pay some marijuana tax, okay? It's not an easy thing to do when half the world doesn't do it, first of all, okay? And then second of all, if you got to pay all these things and you got to do it, yes, you're going to make some money. But cannabis is just like any other business.
It should be treated as such.
You got to have employees, but the thing is that it will make a city a bunch of money. Okay, because of the taxes. Now, I have a problem from a bankrupt city that went on bankruptcy exactly for 5 years. We had, I don't know how many millions of dollars in paying bankruptcy attorneys that we would put this marijuana money in. And like, what they're doing is if the tax doesn't pass, neither does the ordinance, because they said that they cannot pass it if the tax doesn't pass. So
I have a feeling they're both going to pass. Why? Because almost everything with cannabis on it in this election is probably going to pass.
But that's that's why I got to say that that's a problem, because then we are really fighting the devil at that time, because then we give them a hold of all this money to freaking waste. And you see what they do with money in our community. I mean, come on. Look around.
So there is an alternative. And I know you say it's a hard path, but it's not as hard a path as some think, because there's a lot of people that I've seen has the will to do another initiative in 2020. That's an initiative that's just based on state law and will change according to state law. If the taxes things are in there, we can just integrate them right into this initiative.
You have, for a special fund, you have to have like 3/3 of the vote, which...
Well, you're going to be helping to... we could do this. We can do this.
I mean, somebody's going to have...
a real campaign.
Somebody's going to have to, but the problem is that the city purposely tricked everybody. And
Carmel, let me speak to that one. Okay, and I'm going to show you exactly what she's talking about, because she's been saying a whole long time, and Carmel and I do not look at marijuana in the same light, nor do Robert and I. We had an ordinance in the city in 2013 that banned marijuana. It was banned. We had an enforcement team. It was fired the day Sands took office. Okay? We had years of intentional neglect, so that we had more illegal dispensaries, or whatever you want to call them, than every other city for 10 miles around us. We were the magnet. Now, Mayor Davis has made a big deal about being against marijuana. Yet when he had the pulpit, the bully pulpit, which a mayor has in city council, he uses it on us all the time, never once did he actually get up there and really give an honest speech about why the city shouldn't do it.
Because he hates weed. That's what it is.
He allowed City Attorney Sands to write Measure P, which was a poison pill designed to make a mess of everything.
It's all right for the mayor to hate weed, but it's not all right for the mayor to hate that we voted weed in.
No, it was a deliberate attempt to manipulate the residents in San Bernardino, and they saw through it. Now we're coming up with a bunch of other things written by the city attorney, who quite honestly should have been gone a long time ago because he was voted up with the new charter. And what do we have? Do we have any real voice from the mayor of being common sense? I want A, B, and C. We have zero leadership. Instead, we have these poison pills, and you guys are right. It is a poison pill. Now, I'm saying this as somebody who's never smoked marijuana, who has no intention of smoking marijuana.
It's a poison pill with angel wings because it says cannabis on it, man.
Look at every other city. Fontana laid out ABCD rules. They're going to court over ABCD rules. It's all clear and concise. Ours is one big muddy mess.
I'm breaking in here because we have a caller, and I've been missing all the callers. Is there a Sasquatch on the phone?
Yes, this is a San Bernardino Sasquatch, and I just wanted to thank you, Robert, for all you do getting people out to vote, regardless who they vote for. The fact that they exercise their vote and vote for people that will serve the people and not serve themselves. That's what Sasquatch says.
It definitely, this time, Sasquatch is not voting for Trump, right?
Sasquatch likes the president. I'm sorry.
Well, you can vote on him in 2020, but right now, he's not on the ballot.
He'll be in jail by then. Come on.
Sasquatch says the only blue wave is a tidy bowl.
Well, thanks so much for calling in, Mr. Jim LaGuardia. He's the guy that fixes all the old military trucks around the city.
Yeah.
You are cool, sir.
Oh, hey, Al Kelly.
Yeah.
Al Kelly.
Hello.
Yes, Al Kelly. Your Tangy was a bomb.
For you.
Scott Olson's here too.
Yeah, your Tangy's a bomb, dude. That's what I'm enjoying right now.
Yeah, I grow a lot of citrus trees.
All right, and thanks for calling in, Jim. I'll see you in the morning at coffee.
Thank you very much.
And Mr.
Bye-bye.
Kelly, you wanted to mention something's going on in Yucaipa?
Yeah, there's the big thing we have a toxic leaking dump that nobody wants to do anything about. That's at the county level and that's at the city level. And the one person who is running for re-election is David Avila, and he claims it's the city of Yucaipa, so they don't need to worry about it because it's the county's dump. We've had up to 50 deaths now with rare genetic diseases, anomalies, and blastoma cancers, including 7 of my fellow colleagues who taught at Yucaipa High School, way beyond statistical levels. So, yeah, I'm taking this personally. Vote for Wayne Padgett. He's a young neoconservative guy, but he's honest. And I think that's what I tell everybody in this election. You know, vote for people who are honest. Oh, and before I came in, Nina Chera is back on the scene again with a very good liberation rap album.
Okay. And
you guys are little.
And I want to personally thank Mr. Kelly for paying a little bit on the show, and we do appreciate that. And if anybody out there would like to help us by paying for one of the show, and I could even make the show about you,
donate.
Let us know. And yeah, Carmel normally plays for every show, so if we can help Carmel out in any way, that's always a good thing. We're trying to keep Carmel in San Bernardino and happy, and as the code enforcement tries to run her out of our town, we're going to pull her on back in and keep her here because she was born and raised in San Bernardino, and we need Carmel's voice here, so there's nowhere... Where else are you going to be able to fight such a good fight?
I don't know. Maybe I'll just go to Las Vegas.
No!
Maybe I'll go to the beach. Maybe I'll just go anywhere but here, man. Anywhere.
All right, I'd like to talk a little bit about that air show. Now, who got to see the airplanes or the jets flying over the city and over the county? Did you get them over there? Oh, they didn't quite reach over into Fontana, but yeah, all day long on Saturday and Sunday, there was planes everywhere. As a kid, I went to all these air shows at March Air Force Base, Norton. Dang, man. What a
Robert.
You'll see that.
Brain fart. But can I say brain fart on the radio? All right.
As long as it's not me, Robert.
But yeah, so I went with as a kid, and I just got that. Right?
I know, it took you long enough.
So like I went over there and big time props to SBD Fest. I went up there and I mentioned I was from I Live San Bernardino, and 4 years in a row they've given me a press pass. I get to go free. I do work hard. I took over 300 photographs and 4 videos.
Nice.
And I really try to document the whole experience. Now they have a car show and an air show, so I went to every car and took a picture. Like I really want to the community to be able to go to the album and see something of theirs there that they were a part of, kind of like being in the newspaper once or whatever. So that's kind of my little angle, like I like to do. But a lot of props to Bill Sandifer and his pictures. He did a great job over there. He did the elected, so I didn't have to do it. And I just have to give him props all around for getting out in the community and putting up those pictures.
He does a good job.
Yes, he does. And for me, the more the merrier. If you want to take pictures of our community and get it out there in the future, those will be the pictures that people go to
Right.
look for those events.
Right.
So, like, we're not thinking about 100 years from now like an anthropologist's mind. We're thinking in just like trying to get food in our mouths day to day. But in 100 years, people will be looking back at stuff we did. And they'll showcase the best stuff, and definitely Bill's work will be in there. And thank you for serving our country. I appreciate that, brother. Veterans is coming up, speaking of that. And we have a Veterans Day parade on November 11th, 11 a.m. near Meadowbrook Park. They'll be driving up and down there, and they'll have all the military vehicles. So I do it every year, and it's a lot of fun. And Suavecitos gets out there with all the old cars, and Virginia Marquez goes on out there. There should be a few more electeds, and maybe they'll even show up. Wait, this is after the election. Well, they might be there. Just kidding.
No, you're not.
Yeah.
Super serious.
I think they'll be there because right after the election, it's kind of good to do something that isn't political. Right. It's kind of fun to just have fun and not have to walk, because walking and talking to everybody, it takes a lot out of you.
It does.
It's a lot of work. So sometimes it's good to just enjoy, have a beer or a soda, and just look at all the cars and talk to the veterans and just have a good time instead of politicking all the time.
Mm-hmm. Well, Robert, we know you're going to be there to document it and take notes. And so all of us will watch. And, hey, if they're there being good with Veterans Day, fine. If they're there for, well, what politicians are there for, then we all know it. We all see it. It's not like it's hard to figure out.
We also have the Turkey Trot on Thanksgiving, which I personally will be MC over there for the 4th year in a row. November 22nd, 7 a.m. You can sign up for on San Bernardino turkeytrot.com. It's at the San Bernardino International Airport. We get there real early. We set up. This is all going for CERT, so we can get money in case there is an emergency, and we need their help, and we need their radios, and we need their supplies and their trailer with all the axes and jaws of life and things they have. So get out there and support them, and there'll probably be some electeds out there too, trying to burn off those calories before they eat their big fat turkey dinner, right? And that's what I go out there. I just talk my ass off the whole time. Oh wait, can I say ass? All right, at least I got.
That's not cool.
I got brain fart and ass, and I just
Robert,
said hello.
now you're rubbing it in.
See, it's not who says it, it's what you say.
Well, that's not cool.
S and F are not okay. Not okay, no matter who says it. If Robert said that, I would throw him off
So brain fart is ship okay.
Oh man, this is too much.
Oh, what am I running?
Well, anyways, I want to thank everyone for enjoying our show, and thank you, Edwin, for coming on here.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
I've been following you, like I said in the beginning of the show. Probably just a little bit before it started. Ipiani Locker, when I first met him, which is Man of the Year for Eloise Reyes.
Shouts out to Yanni.
Yeah. I saw what he was doing, and going to all these events that nobody really goes to, and showcasing them, and copy pasting their links and everything. And he was kind of like my mentor when it came to like learning how to integrate into the real community. Right. What I mean the real community, I mean the events that there might not ever be an elected at. You know, those kind of events, right? Where it's just like people having fun, or people trying to make a difference, or people trying to help other people. So, you know what I noticed? The more events that Yanni goes to, the more politicians start going to those events, right? So eventually, I'm hoping we'll vote Lockhart in as president of the United States of America. But you know, we'll have to see what happens. Do you have any plans on running for office at any time soon? Or?
Nah, not right now, but soon. You know,
like maybe the school board or something. I mean, I would
soon.
support you 100% if you did anything like that.
I'm a direct service type of guy right now. Maybe as I get older, you know, then I'll fall back and I, you know, get on the other side of it. But for right now, it's all direct service.
Well, Mr. Nickel is doing all right, but I think Mr. Ramos is going to kick butt tomorrow. But if Mr. Nickel wins, would you consider running for the 5th Ward of San Bernardino City Council?
Yes.
Sure.
All right. I don't know.
All right. We'll leave it.
I'll take the 5th on the 5th. I wouldn't have a clue if anybody has any plans.
Okay, and we'll go down the. What's your prediction for tomorrow for Mayor of San Bernardino?
Put this way, there's only one hope for this city. There is only one chance for change, and it's Valdivia all the way.
What's your prediction now, Kelly?
For San Bernardino?
Yeah.
That it stays afloat.
Okay, what's your prediction, Carmel?
That we're all going to HE double hockey stick.
And I predict that I love San Bernardino County and KCAA NBC 106.5 FM, 102.3 M. We will be back next week at 7 p.m. sharp. Be there. We out of here.
We're out.
To that kind of place, knee deep in the hoopla, sinking in your fight. Too many runaways eating up the night. KC